In a cinematic world oversaturated with remakes and reboots, How to Train Your Dragon 2025 is one of the few that dares to care. It doesn't just copy the original, it remembers why it worked in the first place, and then it tries to make us feel that all over again. Let's talk about what this film is and what it isn't. First things first, the story. If you've seen the 2010 animated classic, the bones are familiar. We follow Hiccup, a clever but clumsy teenager who lives in the Viking village of Berk, a place where strength is everything and dragons are the enemy. But Hiccup is different. He's not built like a warrior. He's thoughtful, inventive, more curious than combative. So when he shoots down a Night Fury, the most feared dragon of all, and finds it helpless, he does something no one else in his village would ever do. He doesn't kill it, he frees it. And that, right there, is still one of the most powerful ideas this franchise has ever given us. Compassion over conquest, understanding over fear. Now, how does the 2025 live-action remake handle that? Surprisingly, with a lot of heart. The biggest fear going into this remake was that it would lose the soul of the original in favor of visual spectacle. But Dean DeBlois, the same man who brought us the animated trilogy, returns here as director, and you can feel it. He's not chasing box office noise, he's telling a story he clearly still believes in. Thames, who plays Hiccup, gives a genuinely thoughtful performance. He doesn't overdo the awkwardness. He gives us a teenager torn between proving himself to a world that doesn't accept him and quietly choosing to follow his own moral compass. And Nico Parker as Astrid, she brings steel and vulnerability to a character that could have easily been flat. You believe her growth, you believe them. And Gerard Butler's return as Stoic, this time in live action, feels like a gift. He's not just a strict father figure. He's a man wrestling with tradition, pride, and love for a son he doesn't understand. But let's talk about the real star of the show, Toothless. Bringing Toothless to life in live action was either going to be breathtaking or a total disaster. Thankfully, it's the former. Toothless feels alive. His eyes move with intelligence. His body language is playful, reactive, even cat-like at times. The animators made a creature that isn't human, yet full of humanity. And the flight scenes, still magic. That first takeoff, Hiccup and Toothless learning to fly together, gave me chills. Again. Visually, the film is a massive achievement. The village of Berk looks lived in and raw, carved from stone and sea and survival. The skies above it are vast, textured, and full of threat and wonder. This world feels big, but not empty. The cinematography by Bill Pope balances the sweeping adventure with intimate character moments. And let's not forget John Powell's returning score, because he understood the assignment. The music swells at the right moments, but also knows when to step back and let silence speak. Now, here's where I give my honest criticism. Yes, the film is beautiful. Yes, it's faithful. But at times, it feels too safe. There were moments when I wanted the remake to surprise me more, to push beyond the beats we already knew. I wanted just one scene that broke tradition and added something new. We get small glimpses of that, especially in how Astrid is written, and in the slightly more grounded, darker tone. But I still felt the movie was almost afraid to diverge too far from the animated version. And let's be real. Some of the CGI-heavy sequences, especially in close-ups, felt a little uncanny. Not bad, but not always seamless. Also, the pacing lags slightly in the second act. Not fatally, but just enough to be noticeable. Kids might fidget a little. Adults might check their watches once. But here's the thing, despite all that, I left the theater feeling the same emotional swell I felt back in 2010. That moment when Hiccup stands up to his father. When he risks everything for a creature no one else would defend. When he falls and Toothless catches him. It still works, because the heart of this story still beats loud and clear. So, should you see it? If you love the original, you'll find this version both familiar and respectful. If you've never seen it, this is a great entry point into one of the most meaningful fantasy stories of the last 20 years. It's not perfect, but it's made with care. And in the era of cash grab reboots, that's worth celebrating. How to Train Your Dragon 2025 is more than just a remake. It's a return to wonder, a love letter to empathy, and proof that even in live action, a dragon can still teach us how to be human.